As some of y'all know, Spotify comes out with their Spotify Wrapped at the end of every year. And this tells you some of your favorite songs, your favorite musicians, all that kind of stuff. Something about me, something personal. It's my favorite band of all time. It's a little band called Mother Mother. You might have heard of them from one of their songs called Hayloft. It's a song that kind of became TikTok famous for a little bit. Or maybe their other song, Verbatim. Both really great songs. I'm a massive fan of them. In fact, I'm actually wearing the wrong outfit for this occasion. Let me go ahead and... Three, two, one. Just don't pay attention to the fact that my shirt is just a little bit wrinkly. I don't want to hear it. I can already see it. I know it's wrinkly. I don't want to fucking hear it in the comments. But as you can see, I am a massive fan. I have the hat. I got the shirt. Look at this shit. I'm a fucking fan, okay? But what are we doing here today? That is the question. The question we all want to know. Thank you for asking. Part of the Spotify Wrapped is that it tells you the exact percentage of what kind of top fan you are of certain bands. Are you in the top 5%, 10%, 20%? Not me. Okay? Not me. I made a goal at the beginning of this year. A noble goal. To become the top 0.01% viewer. Their number one viewer. It's a noble goal. I understand. And recently, the Spotify Wrapped came out, as I've said. Now, here's the thing. I have not looked at my Spotify Wrapped yet. I don't know if I've made this goal or not. We're going to find out together here on this wonderful video. Have I become Mother Mother's number one fan on Spotify? Or did I fail my goal? We're going to find out here today. All right. Now, I'm, of course, recording this on my phone. I hope it works out. This is the first time I've ever recorded something on my phone, and I'm at 13% battery, as you can probably see. This is not going to go well. But anyways, we're opening up my wrap now. Again, the goal is to be number one. Oh, shit. 48,000 minutes. Almost 49. Top 5% of all time listeners. August 11th with 1,400 minutes? I don't know. I have no life. All of them Mother Mother. Oh, what song did I play? That's actually surprising. I really thought I would have liked a different song. You streamed it 199 times starting on February 16th. Commitment never sounded good. It came out on February 16th. That makes a lot of sense. I also think I missed something that I want to double check. So this is the song that I listen to over and over again. I'm the 0.001% listener of that song specifically. Not Mother Mother, but this song specifically. It's a great song. I love this song. I didn't realize I played it as many times over and over again. But it's a great song. It's a competition for me. Okay. Had Shrink, Far in Time, Days Explode. These are actually really surprising. I really don't think I would have... I didn't think I was going to get these songs specifically. I don't know about that. I only listen to Mother Mother, basically. February, that's when the new album came out. Nice. Mother Mother, 21 Pilots, I didn't know. Oh, okay. Let's go back to June. Oh, yeah, I remember. I started really listening to Love, another artist I really, really love. I mostly listen to Mother Mother. I didn't only listen to Mother Mother, but, like, generally mostly them, yes. Back to Mother Mother, of course. Mother Mother, Flip Turn. Yeah, that sounds about right. I've listened to 271 artists. I'm actually surprised about that. I wonder who that special one was. Oh, look! Mother. Was 72 days. I'm actually surprised. I thought that would be longer. I did it! That's right! 0.001%. I am their number one fan! And it looks like I also got really into Olivia. I can't pronounce his name. He's the one who made the A Plague Tale soundtrack. As to how they come up with the shit that they do, I could not tell you. But I knew it would happen. I knew I'd be their number one fan. That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. Let me take these out because I can't quite hear myself. But that's it. I am officially Mother's number one fan. No one else in this entire world that listens to Spotify can say that they listen to Mother nearly as much as me. I want you to consider this, right? I just looked. Mother, as of the time of this recording, obviously, has 7.7 million monthly listeners. Monthly listeners. People who repeatedly listen to their music. I am the number one. The number one listener. No one can compare to my love for Mother, okay? And I know I sound crazy. I'm not fucking crazy, okay? I'm not fucking crazy. Getting a little bit carried away. This is what I knew would happen. I knew I would be Mother's number one listener. I had no worries or doubts in my mind that I wouldn't be that 0.001%. I honestly thought that it would be 0.01%, but no, it's an extra zero in there. 0.001%. I am their number one listener. That to me is insane. I cannot believe that. But that's not all for this video. We're not just reacting to Mother. My opinion, if I do humbly say so, means more than majority of people. That's not true. That's not true at all. What I'm trying to say is, as much as I love Mother, I obviously have my favorites. Just like a mother has her favorite children, I have my favorite Mother songs. Now, this often does change every week, month, day. It changes quite a lot. As we saw with my Spotify Wrapped, I got songs on there that I didn't think would be my number one picks. I'm very surprised that Head Shrink is actually my number one song that I listen to repeatedly. I thought it was going to be something else. I thought there was a lot of different songs. Aspiring Fires. Getaway is one that I've been listening to quite a lot, mostly recently, so that doesn't super surprise me. My favorite song last year was Turpentine. I love that song. That's actually, in my opinion, my favorite song by Mother. But apparently it's Head Shrink, which is not a big shock at all. This is actually a year where I actually started therapy for the very first time. And it's something I would highly recommend. But that is neither here or there. I'm actually very surprised that is my number one song. But what we're going to do now is I'm actually going to go through each of their albums and tell you my favorite song from each of them. Just because at this point I think my opinion actually may mean something, seeing that I am Mother's number one listener. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. And again, keep in mind, these are songs that, as of right this second, I really enjoy. They're going to change very soon as I continue to listen to other songs. I find it that if I begin to listen to a song repeatedly, I begin to like that song more than others at that given moment. But these are just kind of what I'm feeling at the moment as I'm listening to these songs, which I am currently listening to these songs on repeat. And this is just my favorite of each album. This isn't necessarily my top favorite song at this moment. That also changes every hour, it seems like, so by all means, just kind of keep that in mind. But we're going to go ahead and start with the first album, Touch Up. I got to say that for this album, my favorite song has got to be Dirty Town. I really enjoy that song. I know that was kind of one of the original songs that they first made, but I really love Angry Sea, Polynesia, Ball Cap, and Oh Anna. Now, I will get into this in a little bit about Oh Anna, but me and that song, we've had a history, and so I'm going to get into that here in just a little bit. But those all other songs, I love them so much. Angry Sea, I've been listening to that currently over and over and over again. I love all of these songs, which just in this video, you're gonna hear me say I love all of these songs about 1,000,000 times. Take a shot every time you hear me say I love these songs. You're gonna be fucking wasted, I swear. For Oh My Heart, I really love Burning Pile. I love the idea of just all your issues, all the problems, you just put them in the fucking pile and you let that shit burn, you know? I love that idea. But I also really like Ghosting, Wisdom, Wrecking Ball, and Miles. Ghosting was one of the first songs I ever listened to. I actually, whenever I listened to this song, this was one of the first songs that really got me into Mother Mother. I listened to it over and over and over again. And I even wrote an entire film script. I have a whole film that I wrote because I listened to this song. That's how much I fucking love this song. Now, Eureka was probably one of the hardest albums to pick a favorite song out of. I love this album. I gotta say, it's either this album or Inside that are probably my favorites. But this album I really, really enjoyed. Out of all the albums, this is one of the hardest ones I had to decide what was my favorite song. For it, I did go ahead and pick Carve a Name. I love that song so much. I love the beat. I love everything about it. But I also really love Getaway and Aspiring Fires and Problems. I love all of those songs so much. The very upbeat songs that have very deep meanings. In my mind, very deep meanings. And I just love them very much. And next, we have to go to The Styx. Now, this was also a really, really hard album to pick out what was my favorite song out of all of them. But I have to go for Dread in My Heart, and this is why. Dread in My Heart was actually the very first song I ever listened to. I listened to this song, I think it was just recommended to me by Spotify. I just listened to it, and I fell in love with it. And I listened to this song for a very long time without ever actually exploring the rest of Mother Mother's songs. I listened to it and I was just like, oh, this is a good song. I added it to my playlist, and then I never checked out Mother Mother after that, and that's one of my deepest regrets. But I love this song so much. Next is Very Good Bad Thing. Now, this may sound bad. I absolutely love this album. I do. I swear to God I love this album. But out of all of them, I have to say this is probably my least favorite album. That doesn't mean I don't have songs on there that I absolutely love. I absolutely love these songs. I had to pick Get Out of the Way as my favorite one. I absolutely love that. I remember back in the day, I used to play Jack 3. As you all know, that's what my YouTube channel is kind of based around, is the Jack and Dexter series. And there was a level in that game where Dexter is on a missile flying through Haven City. And whenever I was really, really, really little playing that level, for some reason I had so much trouble trying to get past it. But what had helped me get past it is I made a song, and it went a little something very similar to Get Out of the Way, where it was just basically, hey, you fuckers, move out of the fucking way because I'm riding a fucking missile. So whenever I first listened to Get Out of the Way, it just reminded me of that fucking time whenever I was in my gaming chair playing a PlayStation 2 game, living out that little bit of childhood. And every single time I listen to that song, I think of that little memory. But I also really love Have It Out and Insane. Insane was one of those songs that I haven't really listened to a lot of, but more recently I listened to it and I really fucking love it. I'm not sure why I kind of haven't listened to it. Basically, how I've been listening to Mother Mother is I have this big playlist on Spotify that has every single one of their songs, even some of their live performances, all that kind of stuff. And I've been just kind of listening through that. And this is one of those songs that the algorithm, I guess, just doesn't like because it doesn't really ever play it very much. But I absolutely love it, as well as Have It Out. Absolutely great song. Next is No Culture, and this was also, again, a very hard album to pick out what was my favorite song. I have to say Mouth of the Devil is probably my favorite. It's a lot slower than a lot of the other songs that I've picked out. It's a very smooth and slow song, but I absolutely love it. But I also really love The Drugs and Baby Boy. Weirdly, both drug related, and I have personally never struggled with drug abuse. I absolutely love these songs. They've got such great beats to them. some of my favorites of all time. Next is Dance and Cry, and I know this may sound a little cliche, but my favorite song on there is So Down. I love that song. Whenever I first started listening to that song, I was in a really kind of tough spot in my life, and whenever I listened to it, I absolutely broke down. But I broke down because it spoke to me on a very deep level, and I absolutely love these songs. And kind of flip the switch, some of my other favorite songs on here is Get Up, which is kind of the complete opposite of So Down, as well as I really love Give Me Back the Night and Bottom is a Rock. Give Me Back the Night, I just love how it really reminds me of that classic rock music. I also really love classic rock, and so that really brings me back to that feel of I'm listening to classic rock even though I'm not. Next is the other album that I would say is probably my favorite next to Eureka. It's kind of hard to pick which one's my favorite, but my favorite song on there is Turpentine. I would say that this is my favorite song of all time by Mother Mother, but as we saw with the Spotify Wrapped, apparently I listen to Head Shrink more than any other song, which I found really surprising. I love that song to death, but Turpentine is that song that I always feel that I return to over and over and over again. It's absolutely one of my favorite songs by Mother Mother. Definitely my favorite song on the Inside album. And also, I really like a Child. I think that song is absolutely amazing. I really like the piano demo version of it. It's a lot slower, almost sadder sounding than the kind of what they eventually released from it, which was a more of a poppy song. The demo version was very slow, and I remember whenever I was actually sleeping in my car at the time, listening to the song whenever it was raining outside, and it weirdly calmed me at that moment. As well as I really love Conversations. To me, it reminds me a lot of Turpentine, almost like a sequel to Turpentine, or maybe Turpentine is the sequel to Conversations. Very good song. Life, just because of the fact that it really is more uplifting, and I would say that Life is probably my theme song to my life. I actually have it as my alarm for whenever I wake up every morning. Also, I Got Love is another really good song on that album. I really love that song because, you know, I personally don't have a lot in my life, and I'm not trying to be all fucking mushy, sad shit and whatever the fucks, but like, I don't got a lot, but I absolutely know one thing I got, and that is love. I feel like I love a little bit stronger than most folks. As you could probably ask my girlfriend, she'd probably agree, but, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, despite everything I've got, love is the number one thing, which sounds so unbelievably fucking cringy, but you know what? That's what I'm going to go for. It's staying in the final version of this video. Next is Grief Chapter. Now, my favorite song, in my opinion, on here is God's Plan. Love that song. Whenever this album first came out, mind you, came out on my birthday, but when it first came out, God's Plan was my number one song. I listened to that song over and over and over again. Absolutely love this song. But I also like Head Shrink, as Spotify Wrapped has said is my number one song, apparently, is the song that I've listened to the most over and over again. But also Grief Chapter. It's another one of those songs that I've always loved it, but I've kind of more recently, within like the last couple months, have been finding myself listening to it over and over and over again. Absolutely love that song. Now we're getting into some of the kind of weirder albums. First, we've got the Mother EP album, and my favorite song that is Oh Anna. Now, I said earlier that I would explain why this song, it's got kind of a special place in my heart, and we've had a bit of a weird backstory. As I've mentioned, Dread in My Heart was the first song I ever listened to, and after I listened to it, I added it to my playlist, but then I never really actually checked out Mother Mother after that. After like months and months of never checking out Mother Mother, I eventually did go to Mother Mother's profile on Spotify, and I kind of wanted to look through their songs. I thought they had very interesting music, so I wanted to give them a try. Eventually, I kind of picked a song. That song was Oh Anna. I listened to it, and I'm going to be completely honest, I was a little disgusted in the beginning. And I know that sounds really fucking stupid, but at the time, and I hate that I keep going really emotional in this video, but at the time I was struggling a lot. Whenever I listen to that, it has, in the very beginning, a suicide reference that, in my mind, is very blunt. I would say is the word. And just at the time, it kind of sparked a little bit of anger in me, in a way, I would say is the best way to describe it. And I just stopped listening to the rest of the song. I heard that first little bit, which I'm going to play here in the video. Now, by all means, if mentioning suicide or self-harm is a trigger of yours, I would go ahead and skip to this time. I'm just going to play in the background, but the song does mention self-harm in a way that kind of just hurt me back in that time whenever I was doing really bad mentally. And after listening to that song and being like, okay, maybe this music isn't for me, I kind of didn't ever listen to Mother Mother for a very long time. I kept Dread in My Heart on my playlist, but after that, I didn't really listen to them. Eventually, I found Ghosting and some other songs, and I kind of started opening up to them a little bit more. Eventually, I was just like, you know what? I love these people's music. Let's give them another try. I listened to every single one of their songs that they had at the time, one of them being Oh Anna, and at the time, I was doing better at this point. So whenever I listened to it, I had almost a different perspective when listening to the song. And I listened to it and I found that I really enjoyed it despite the mentioning of self-harm. So it's one of those songs that now I'm absolutely obsessed with. It's one of my favorite songs by Mother Mother, despite at the point whenever I first listened to it, I kind of hated it, which is really funny. But no, I absolutely love this song. That's why I have to pick it as my favorite for the Mother EP. And I would say it's almost my favorite for the other albums that it's on. It's really hard to pick songs, so I'm having it part of the Mother EP. I also just really like the kind of raw version that it is in this album, because this is one of their demos. This is one of their earliest versions of this song. But I also really like, of course, Dirty Town, and also Mama Told Me, which is one of their more weirder songs that they've ever came out with. It's just very different. It's not a very traditional song. But that kind of fits with this album. In case you don't know about the Mother EP, it's one of those albums that they came out with pretty recently as I'm recording this, where they added a bunch of songs that they never released, some demos of songs, and early versions of songs. They released in kind of a small album called the Mother EP before they became, of course, Mother Mother. And this is one of the songs that they never released once they became Mother Mother. And it's a very nice song. It's very different. It's a weirder song, but I absolutely love Mama Told Me. And, of course, Dirty Town, for the some reason that it was my favorite in the past albums. And lastly, we have the Demos album. Now, this is the most recent album that they've released as of the time I'm recording this. Hopefully they come up with more. That would be pretty nice. But I have to say, for this album, my favorite song has got to be Getaway. Again, Demos is one of those albums that they released that was just a bunch of demos, the more earlier versions of the songs that are in these other albums. Getaway is one of my most favorite songs. Again, it's the idea of just leaving the life that you have and trying to pursue something better. I love that idea. It's something that I've kind of wrestled with for a very long time in my own personal life. So the idea of Getaway, the song, is pretty appealing to me. But I also really like a bunch of other songs: Salt and Pepper Shaker, The Sticks, Oh Anna, of course, Head Shrink, Carve a Name, and Grief Chapter. All those songs are from previous albums except for Salt and Pepper Shaker, which is another one of those really weird songs similar to Mama Told Me. That's just different. It's experimental. And it wasn't in any other album except for the Demos album. And I really like it. I think it's a great song, despite it being just kind of weird. But those are all of my favorite songs in all of their albums that they've released as of right now. Let me know what you think. If you're a big, avid Mother Mother listener, let me know what your favorite song is in all these albums, or just what your favorite song is in general. I'm very, very eager to hear everyone's response. If it's not super obvious, love this band to death, and I could not get enough of this band. And of course, it also helps that they release some of their albums on my birthday, February 16th. And Mother Mother, if by some miracle you are watching this, I'm just going to consider that a happy birthday present to me from you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But that is actually going to be the end of this video. I know it's a little bit of a different video than what I normally post. Again, I'm more than happy to hear any of y'all's favorite music. It doesn't have to be Mother Mother. Leave your favorite band in the comments below, or your favorite Mother Mother song if you're as big of a Mother Mother fan as me. But of course, I appreciate everyone for watching this video. As for now, I'll see you in the next one.
Bye, I love you.